Welcome all, I'm joined today by Mary Basmadjian, one of the funniest comics in the global Armenian community. So Mary, thank you very much for your time. I'm really glad you've joined me today. I've been wanting you on for ages.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, Emilio.
Can you first tell us a bit about yourself, about where you're from and your Armenian roots?
Sure. My parents both came to America in 1979 and they met here. So I'm born and raised in Hollywood. I currently reside in Pasadena, California, and I've been doing comedy for about 12 years now. And so far, I really enjoy it, and I love making my Armenian community laugh.
Armenian parents are crazy, though. They are. They will compare you to everyone and everything until your self-esteem is as low as their credit score.
And how did you get into comedy? And I'm also curious, in the beginning, what sort of response were you getting from the Armenians around you?
I believe in 12 years ago when I started, I went to a regular stand-up comedy show, and at that time I was really into Armenian sketch comedy with like the old VHS tapes. I don't know if people still remember those. So there was like a lot of sketch comedy in the Armenian community, and then I found stand-up comedy, and I was like, I always loved telling stories, and I figured I'm just doing it on stage and it's making people laugh, and I really enjoyed it. And the reaction at first was really great, and it's when I first started doing comedy, it was to mainly non-Armenian audiences, and then I linked up with a couple of other Armenian comics, and we started producing Armenian stand-up comedy shows. And I believe this was about, I want to say, like 8 years ago. So like at that time, there wasn't a lot of stand-up Armenian comedy out there. So it was kind of like, and we mixed in sketch as well. And the response from the Armenian audiences has been amazing.
And when you would do your shows, would you get non-Armenians as well come down?
Absolutely. We have, like, for friends or spouses or even other comedians that were non-Armenians, but they were curious what it was, and they would come down and they would enjoy, because we would do it, and each comic is different, but sometimes I would do it like in English and in Armenian and throw in some Armenian words, because it's some jokes are funnier like that. But yeah, definitely non-Armenians come and enjoy the show as well.
Sir, with all due respect, the only trouble here is you not knowing where Glendale is, huh?
I know where Glendale is, but
then
it's
drive out
12
there.
minutes. It's 12 miles.
Okay, drive.
How much cash? What are you talking? Money
Listen,
talks.
I'm going to my own business. What's your name, sir?
My name's Tyler.
Tyler. Tyler Rapres Bales. Hogem Galuchat.
And in your comedy, you do several characters, which will be very recognizable to many of our watchers. One of them is called Vartush Tota, who is a quintessential Armenian character, with a cigarette usually in the hand and a coffee cup in the other. So I'm thinking, what was the inspiration behind Vartush as a character?
She's actually a mixture of a lot of people in my life, and not that much. Maybe the cigarette was the inspiration for my mom because she smoked, but everything else, it's a mixture of my dad, my aunts, my grandma. And at first, like, she's built over years. It didn't happen right away. I think, like, in the beginning, I didn't even have a wig, so I would put on something else on my head to mimic that, right? But then it kind of grew, and I added more stuff, like jewelry with the tags. I think one time I left the tag on, and people noticed the tag, and they really enjoyed it. And I was like, yes, we're going to leave the tags on, because this is something we kind of do, too. We leave the tags on if we want to, like, return something. But, like, that part, people really got a kick out of that, and I decided to keep that, and that's how that character came to be.
Florida ենք եկել, Naples, Florida, էլի մեզի Իտալիայի տեղ ենք դնել ասենց, էլի,
Even Vartush's wig is always the same wig. I wonder sometimes where you found that wig.
I've changed it once or twice. No, once I've changed it. I got it from the very first Vartush wig. I got it from my good friend Lori Tatulian, who is also a very funny Armenian comic actress, comedian. She does this show called Big Bad Armo Show, and it's a sketch comedy show. And when I started doing that with her, I had to wear this wig for one of the sketches, and I was like, I'm not giving this wig back. This is now mine. And then after that, I kind of grew my own collection of wigs as well. And yeah, we go from there. And the colors change here and there because I have to get new wigs. Like it doesn't, yeah.
Another character that kills me is Piso, and I swear I have a cousin in Glendale who reminds me of Piso. There's also a sketch where Piso is lamenting that the hookah lounges in her neighborhood are all closed. I was wondering, do you know any actual Pisos down in LA?
What am I supposed to do? Stay home and learn how to cook and sew? Yuck!
Yes, I do. I love them, and they're inspiration to me for sure. And actually, after a week after I kind of created that Piso character, I met a very wonderful young lady who absolutely reminded me of Piso, and it was just, it was even more homework for me to like take in. It was beautiful.
When it comes to Armenian comedy, I feel that Armenians comedy is a major part of Armenian culture. I also think that Armenian comedy is similar in a sense to British comedy, where I'm from, in the sense that it's more biting. It likes to take the piss out of things. So,
yeah.
How do you perceive Armenian comedy, for example, in comparison with American comedy?
I think with American comedy, my style of stand-up comedy that I do is more of like observational humor. And I've noticed I kind of add that into the Armenian comedy side too, because I have to observe the culture itself to kind of exaggerate on it. There's a lot of exaggeration to it, and I think I really enjoy also mixing the juxtaposition of American with Armenian. I think that's another aspect of Vartush. I put her in American situations. She herself is Armenian. She has her Armenian cultural ways and little things that she does, but she always finds herself in an American situation. So I kind of try to mix the two as much as I can. As far as differences, I honestly try to mix it. I don't look at the differences. I like to mix it together as much as I can.
And you were doing shows. I'm wondering, because of the pandemic, because of COVID, are you back doing shows now?
A little bit, little by little, and it depends on, which part of the country, because I think every state has different limitations. Obviously, during the pandemic, I wasn't doing any shows. Right now, we are doing like some indoor shows with like vaccine card checking or like a negative test checking, that kind of stuff. And then there's, some hookah lounges that are outside, and we can just do it there because it's outside. And I've done a couple of shows. And I hope to do a lot more. I was going to go on tour in 2020. I wanted to do like a nice European tour and go around and do nice shows, but the universe had a different plan for us. But I hope to go all around Europe and do shows with Vartush and stand up itself. I would love to do that.
What about Armenia? Are there any plans to come to Armenia?
Yes, there is. I haven't been to Armenia for a very long time. I was born and raised in America, but I came to Armenia in 2007. It was very different than what it is right now, as far as what I'm hearing from people. And it's absolutely beautiful. I see people that come out there, and I just absolutely enjoy. I would love to come out, but I don't know definitely when.
And you've also used your platform to raise many Armenian issues. Why was this important for you?
Because one of the first things I learned in comedy from my first comedy teacher, Bobby Oliver, was you're going to have a quote unquote soapbox. You have a platform. It's great to tell jokes. It's even better to tell jokes and make people think. And on top of that, with the way social media is set up, it's not just like stand-up comedy where it's just like maybe 100 people, but you have thousands of people that you're influencing. I think it's important to influence some good things as well. It's, of course, positive things in the world. As much positive we put, it'd be better.
And as a woman, did you ever find that was an obstacle to your career, to your comedy?
Am I Armenian?
Yes.
Yeah.
The cameraman's laughing.
Yeah. No, yes, there was some obstacles. I don't think maybe everybody has their levels, you know, men have their level, women. But I think, yes, especially as an Armenian woman, there are certain things. And I noticed with the Vartush character, it's a beautiful vessel in which I can use Vartush to talk about things or say certain things that I feel like maybe Mary wouldn't be able to joke about and say.
And being Armenian is a massive part of your comedy, which you incorporate. How do you feel about being Armenian? What do you like about being Armenian? What do you dislike about being Armenian?
Jesus, are you trying to get me hate comments right now? No. I love, I love the culture. Even though I was born and raised here, and this entire interview we spoke English, but I speak very well Armenian. And the irony, as she says it in English, but I enjoy our language, our culture, our food, everything. And I'm in LA, so it would be crazy to not take all that in while we have such a huge Armenian population. And I was raised to embrace the culture, to learn the language, and to pass it on. And I also love how supportive we are with other Armenians as well. There are, things that I don't like, but it's okay. It comes with, we're very traditional in some sense. We're very conservative in some things. And I think little by little, times are changing and so are people. I'm going to get so much hate for that.
And but even Vartush, sometimes you use the character to express things in the Armenian community which are funny at the end of the day, whether they're good or bad, they're funny, and you do that really in an interesting way.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I try my best.
Well, Mary, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Emilio. This was awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
And continue following CivilNet.